By now, many of you have already seen or heard about Supreme Court Justices Neil Gorsuch and Samuel Alito uncover the Biden administration's lopsided enforcement of laws against protesters. One group of protesters gets away with $2 billion in destruction in cities across the country, while another group of protesters get locked up for 20 years doing nothing more than walking through doors that police officers open for them, allowing them to come in. The difference depends on whether the protester has a little D next to the name or a little R. But I think a lot of people who have spoken about this topic missed a very important point in the exchange between the government's lawyers and the justices on the bench. And if you stick with me through this video, I'm going to explain something to you that most people who talked about this subject completely overlooked. It will boggle your mind, and it will leave no doubt that under the Biden administration, we live in a police state. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Can you guess who's been picking favorites in the justice system? If you guessed the Biden administration, you'd be right. And we've got the scoop straight from the Supreme Court. During recent oral arguments, the spotlight was on the case of Fisher v. United States. Now, Joseph Fisher, charged during the January 6th Capitol riot, isn't exactly a poster child for sympathy. But the real story here isn't about Fisher. It's about something much bigger, a glaring inconsistency in how laws are applied depending on who you are and what you protest for. More on that in a minute. Could it be that there's a double standard in our justice system? Because the answer might not surprise you, but the details certainly will. Justices Gorsuch and Alito pointed out a very curious pattern. Why are some protesters slapped with heavy charges while others disrupting government proceedings for less favored causes, they get off with a slap on the wrist? Here's where it gets interesting. Progressive Representative Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm to disrupt House proceedings, a clear act of obstruction. Yet he faced only a misdemeanor charge with negligible penalties. Sounds fair, right? As Justice Gorsuch pressed on, he highlighted a bizarre inconsistency. When it comes to protests labeled as mostly peaceful by certain media, even if they block official proceedings indefinitely, they seem to slip through the legal cracks. What's up with that? Now, according to the Biden administration's Solicitor General, the decision hinges on proving intent. However, it seems like intent only matters when it's convenient for their narrative. Are we seeing the full picture or just a painted one by those in power? Let's not forget the broader strokes here. From the post-St. George Floyd riots to anti-abortion protests, the Biden administration's selective enforcement is painting a picture of ideological bias. And that's not just a problem, it's a peril. But here is the real story in the January 6th defendants who were charged with 18 U.S.C. 1512, or better known as obstructing an official proceeding. That was the charge that they started with for all of them, which gave the government leeway to add multiple other charges on. But there's a problem with 18 U.S.C. 1512. Wait for it. Here's what you won't hear them talk about on CNN or MSNBC. The charge of obstructing an official proceeding has been assigned to most J6 defendants. And like I said, that was used to add more charges. Drop that top charge, many of the other charges go away. But that charge was originally written for the destruction of evidence in the Enron case. Remember the Enron case? Remember that Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 came out of that? Remember Arthur Anderson was shredding papers, documents that the Congress wanted to see? It closed a legal loophole on who could be charged with evidence tampering, like shredding documents. The DOJ should not have been allowed to use it against January 6 defendants, and the original intention of the charge does not fit. But let's not jump ahead. Remember, this isn't just about dodging penalties. It's about ensuring justice is blind, not blinkered. So what do you think will happen next? Will justice take the blindfold off? Or will it peek to see who's in front of it first? All right, guys, smash that like button if you think justice should be blind and not biased. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share these videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed with what's really going on. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.
Laughed at the mall 'cause your mom Mama forgot, I know it hurt.